Hello students, welcome to the mathematics class. So in the previous class we have studied all the measures of dispersion. So what are the measures of dispersion? Range, mean deviation and standard deviation. In the introduction itself I have told you that measures of dispersions help us to know the variability or the consistency of the performance. So this is the last session in which I will explain you how to decide the consistency of a performance or how to decide the variability of a series by using the standard deviation. Among all the measures of dispersions, which one is more effective? The most effective method of calculating the variance, that is equal to variance and standard deviation. So among the measures of dispersion, which one is the most effective method to calculate the consistency? So that is the variance and standard deviation. We completed that session in the previous class. So in this session, let us discuss about the analysis of frequency distribution. So in this session, I will discuss analysis of frequency distribution. Analysis of frequency distributions. So to analyze the frequency distribution, we need one coefficient. Therefore, that coefficient is coefficient of variation. We will write this as coefficient of variation. So in short form, we will call this as CV. Coefficient of variation means what? CV. How to calculate this CV? CV is equal to standard deviation divided by mean. We will get a small fraction here. Therefore, we will multiply it by 100. So, if we write the terms like this, you must know this condition. Mean cannot be equal to 0. Automatically, this condition applies here. Therefore, coefficient of variation of any series can be calculated by using the formula standard deviation divided by mean into 100. Okay. So, how to use this coefficient of variation in the analysis of the distributions? So, there are two conditions or two rules to analyze the given series. If the coefficient of variation CV, the series having greater CV, I will write in short form, series having greater CV, if the coefficient of variation is high or it is greater, then the variability is more. It implies the variability is more. Therefore, his performance or the consistency of this series having the greater coefficient of variation is less. Therefore, greater the coefficient of variation implies the variability is more. If the coefficient of variation is lesser coefficient of variation, which indicates the consistency is more. So, consistency is more. The question may be in two forms. They will give two or more series and ask the question which series is having more variability. Then you must select the series having more coefficient of variation, because greater the coefficient of variation, variability is more. Or the question may be about the consistency. They may give two or more series and ask you the question which series is more consistent. Then you may select the series, you must select the series which is having the lesser coefficient of variation. Yes, in the introductory section, I introduced you two batsmen A and B is selected to the match and A is not selected to the match. Why this is possible? Because if you calculate the coefficient of variation of A, it is high, therefore the variability that I graphically shown it to you, is it not? Variability is high, therefore his performance is not consistent. As compared to A, B is more consistent because the dispersion is less there. So this is the method of analyzing the series by the help of standard deviation and mean by taking the coefficient of variation. You must remember these 2 points. Greater the coefficient of variation, more is the variability, and lesser the coefficient of variation, more is the consistency. So we must discuss some problems based on this coefficient of variation. Remember, this concept is very important because 2 marks question most probably comes from this concept. Okay, so I will discuss the problem one by one. So first of all, let us discuss these 2 problems. Okay, so read the problem and pause the video and note down these 2 problems. So read the first problem. Coefficient of variations of 2 distributions are 60 and 70 and their standard deviations are 21 and 16 respectively. What are their arithmetic means? Here you must calculate the arithmetic mean by using the coefficient of variation and standard deviation. So I will take the coefficient of variation CV of first distribution, CV of 1. So that's equal to 60, and CV of 2. So the second distribution, that's equal to 70, and the standard deviation of 1, sigma 1 is equal to 21, and standard deviation of second distribution, sigma 2 is equal to 60. So I will write the formula here. What is the formula for CV? Common formula, sigma divided by x bar into 100. So here I want x bar, therefore x bar is equal to standard deviation divided by coefficient of variation into 100. So I will take the answer for first series, that is equal to x bar of 1 first series, that is equal to, what is the sigma for this? 21 divided by 60 into 100. So 0 and 0 cancels, 3 7s are 3, 2s are 2 1s are 2 5s are, so we will get the answer as 35. So x2 bar, so that's equal to, so I will write it here, can you see the board? x2 bar, so that is equal to, what is the standard deviation? 16 divided by 70 into 100, so 0 and 0 cancels here. So therefore this is equal to 160 divided by 7, that is equal to 7 2s are 140 and 7 2s are 40, 7 2s are 40 and 7 2s are 40. Therefore you will remain with 60, so that's equal to 8. So I will take the rough value, that is equal to 22.8 you will get here, or if you continue you will get 22.85. okay. So this is the mean of first series is equal to 35 and the mean of second series is equal to 22.85. So that's the solution for this problem. And now read the second problem. An analysis of monthly wages paid to the workers in 2 firms. Firms mean units. A and B belong to the same industry. 2 units A and B belongs to the same industry. Gives the result as follows. In the firm A, how many workers are there? 586 workers are there. In the firm B, 648 workers are there. And the mean monthly wages, that is the average wages given to them, 5253 and 5253. Here the x bar, that is equal to mean of the data, mean of the given data is equal. Therefore if mean is same, you see the formula, So in the formula, if the mean is same, then coefficient of variation purely depends on the standard deviation. Therefore, there is no need of calculation, is it not? There is no need of calculation here. There is no need of calculation here. Coefficient of variation directly proportional to the standard deviation, because mean is same for the two forms A and B. They ask the question, I have not written the question, in which two questions are there, in which form they will pay more money, more monthly money, they ask the question. So average is same in both the cases, therefore here the workers are more, therefore firm B, the answer for first question is firm B pays more money as the monthly wages, because here the workers are more and the average salary is same for all the workers, therefore firm B pays more money. And the second question is, so for which the second question, I will read the second question. Which form shows the greater variability? That is the second question. Which form shows the greater variability? In the daily wages of the workers, which form shows the greater variability? Here the mean is same, therefore no comparison of the mean here. So the coefficient of variation directly proportional to standard deviation. Standard deviation is nothing but the root of the variance. Therefore for the second question also you need not calculate anything. So the root of 120 is more than root of 100, is it not? Therefore the answer is form B. So the answer is firm B is more variable, because it has the more value of standard deviation, therefore it is more variable as compared to the firm A. So that is the answer for second question. Let me go for next questions. So this is the third problem that we want to discuss. The following values are calculated in respect of heights and weights of the students of a section of class 11th, your class, and height and weight are listed out like this, and mean and variance are given. You must answer this question. Can we say that weight shows greater variation than height? So weight shows greater variation than height. It is true, is it not? So weight is more variable than height. So many of you are having same height, 2 or 3 inches difference, is it not? So that we must calculate. So I will continue the table here. By this variance I will calculate the standard deviation. So what is the root of 127.69? Root of 23.136. So that is nothing but the standard deviation. By using the calculator, write the standard deviation first. So this is 11.3 centimeter square and 4.81 kg. So we must calculate the CV of height first. So height. So CV of height. I will write the formula of CV here. Standard deviation divided by mean into 100. That is CV. CV of height. So that's equal to standard deviation of height. That is equal to 11.3. divided by its mean is equal to 162.6. 162.6 into 100. You will get one value here. Calculate it by using your calculator. CV of weight. So that is equal to, what is the standard deviation? That is equal to 4.81 divided by, what is its mean? 52.36. 52.36 into 100. Write the answer for these two questions by using your calculator. That will give you the variability. So the value is equal to 6.95 and 9.18. So which one, height or weight is having more greater is the coefficient of variation, that is obviously weight. Therefore, is it true? Can we say weight shows greater variation than height? Yes, it is true. So we can say, so the answer is, we can say that weight shows more variation than height. More variation than height. So that's true. They have given one statement that is true. Okay. So this is the solution for this question. So let us discuss the fourth problem. The sum of the squares corresponding to the length and weight of 50 plant products are given below. Which is more varying, the length or weight? So the length and weight of the plant products you must compare here. So the length is given here and the weight is given here. So here xi is given, xi square is given. You know how to find out the standard deviation and the mean. So first you must find the mean of x of, so xi, which is corresponding to the length, is it not? Mean of L. So that's equal to sigma xi divided by n. So what is sigma xi? 212 divided by, so number of plant is equal to 50. You must calculate it. And then you must calculate the YL. So mean of the weight of the plant products, that's equal to sigma yi divided by n. What is sigma yi? So that is equal to 261 divided by 50. Use the calculator to find this. And then go for the standard deviation of the length. So that's equal to root of, what is the formula? Sigma xi square divided by n minus sigma xi divided by n whole square. So what is sigma xi whole square? So that's equal to root of sigma xi whole square is 902.8 divided by 50 minus, so 212, so sigma xi, so that is equal to 212 divided by 50 whole square. So that you must calculate by using the calculator. And here this is equal to sigma of this is weight. So sigma of weight, standard deviation of weight, that is nothing but sigma yi whole square divided by n minus sigma yi divided by n whole square. So that's equal to root of sigma yi whole square is given 1457.6 divided by 50 minus the mean 261 divided by 50 whole square. So calculate this, calculate the values of standard deviation of length and weight, calculate the values of standard deviation of length and weight. After getting the standard deviation of length and weight, then you must calculate the CV of that length. So CV of a length here, and then CV of weight here, CV of weight here. So if the coefficient of variation of length is more, then it is more varying, and if the coefficient of variation of weight is more, then it is more varying. I leave this question half completed so that you may calculate the you may complete the calculations and find the value of CV and compare it with this and answer the question. That is half completed, and you must complete it so that you will get your homeworks. Okay. Next question that I want to discuss is related to my subjects and the science subjects. So read the question carefully. The mean and the standard deviations of the marks obtained by 50 students of a class in 3 subjects, mathematics, physics and chemistry, are given below. Which of the 3 subjects shows highest variability? So in which subject you will get the variability in the marks? Is it in maths? No. In maths you will score consistently, is it not? So we must calculate mean and standard deviations are given of the 3 subjects. You know how to calculate the coefficient of variation and then decide which one shows the highest variability. So that is the question. Okay. So I will calculate the coefficient of variation of mass first. So mass is equal to, I will write the formula, CV is equal to standard deviation divided by mean into 100 is the formula. So what is the standard deviation for mass? Standard deviation is 12 divided by 42 into 100. That we must calculate by using the calculator. And then CV of next subject. What is the next subject? Physics. So that's equal to 15 divided by 32 into 100. We must calculate. And then CV of chemistry. So that's equal to 20 divided by 40.9 into 100. Calculate the coefficient of variation of all the 3 subjects by using your calculator and write the value. Calculate now. Check whether you get the same coefficient of variation 28.57, 46.37 and 48.89. So which subject is having more coefficient of variation? Obviously it is chemistry, is it not? Therefore the chemistry shows highest variability. That is your answer. Which subject shows highest variability? Chemistry shows highest variability. So in which subject the students are more consistent, most consistent? So in the mathematics they are scoring more consistently. Because mathematics is very easy, no? Therefore they are consistent in getting the answer in mathematics. So this is the method how to find the variability or the consistency of the given data by using the standard deviation and by calculating the coefficient of variation. Let me discuss some questions of higher order which are very helpful to you for the competitive exam. I will take 1 or 2 questions of higher order from the miscellaneous exercise. Okay. The first question which I want to discuss is, if some scores are there like this, I will discuss the 6th question. So if x bar and sigma square are the mean and variance of some scores. What are the scores? So x1, x2, x3 up to xn respectively, and if the scores are, so I will take here let x bar. So if the scores, each scores are multiplied by a number k, then find mean and variance of the scores. Mean and variance of the scores. So read the question carefully and note down the question. Here some scores are given. They are up to x1, x2, x3 up to xn, and x bar is the mean of that, and lambda sigma square is the variance of that. If each score is multiplied with k, kx1, kx2, all those things, then what is the new mean and new variance? That you must calculate generally. So I will take the formula for x bar. How to calculate the mean of given scores? So that is equal to x1 plus x2 plus dash 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 up to xn divided by number of score is equal to n. So this is the formula to calculate the mean. So then how to calculate the variance? So variance is nothing but xi x1 minus x bar, so difference of this whole square, plus so x2 minus x bar whole square, plus up to x3 minus xn whole square, deviations whole square, divided by n. So this is the formula for the variance, is it not? So I will multiply each score with k. Okay, that becomes the new mean. I will call this as xn, new mean. Okay, so k into x1 plus k into x2 plus dash 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 up to k into xn, it becomes divided by n. I will take k outside. What will remain inside the bracket? x1 plus x2 up to xn divided by n. So that is, this is nothing but k into, what is this? x1 plus x2 plus xn divided by n. So that is nothing but x bar. Therefore, so this is the important formula. The new mean is equal to k into the original mean. If the mean of 10 given score is equal to 8 and each score is multiplied with 2, then what is the new mean? That is equal to 2 into the previous mean, that is equal to 8. So that is equal to 16 is the new mean. So that is the method to find the new mean of the given data. Okay, so then go for the new variance. So new variance is equal to, so I will write it as k x1 minus k, new mean is equal to k x bar, is it not? Whole square plus k x2 minus k x bar whole square plus dash dash up to k xn minus k x bar whole square divided by n. There is no change in the value of n. Okay. So here in each bracket k is common. I will take this k outside. So it becomes k into x1 minus x bar. If I take it from outside, it becomes k square, is it not? Square is there for k. Therefore, if I take k square as common, what will remain inside the bracket? x1 minus x bar whole square plus, we will take big bracket here, x2 minus x bar whole square plus dash 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 xn minus x bar whole square divided by n. So what is this? This is the previous mean. Therefore, new mean is equal to k square into the previous variance. So k square into previous variance. Therefore, new variance is equal to k square into the previous variance. So by using these two formula, we may directly find the new mean and new variance of the given data. So I will discuss one or two problems based on this general problem. So let us discuss these two problems based on that formula. Read the problem first. So the seventh problem is, the variance of 20 observation is 5. If each observation is multiplied by 2, find the new variance of the resulting observations. You know the formula. The new variance, sigma square is equal to k square into the new variance, I will take it as sigma n, is equal to the previous variance, that is equal to sigma square. Here k is given, k is the number which is multiplied by 2, k is equal to 2. The previous variance is equal to 5. Therefore, can find the new variance very easily by using that formula, that is equal to k square 2 square into 5. What is 2 square? 4 into 5, that is equal to 20. If you know this formula, you can find the, or you can solve the problems very easily by using that. Let me pass on to the 8th problem. Read the problem. The mean and standard deviations of 6 observations are 8 and 4 respectively. Each observation is multiplied by 3. Find the new mean and new standard deviations of the resulting observation. So here the mean is given. What is the mean? Previous mean, that is equal to the mean 8 and 4 respectively. Standard deviation is 4 and the mean is equal to 8. And the previous standard deviation is equal to sigma. So that is equal to 4. So new mean I will take it here. New mean is equal to k into the previous mean. K into previous mean. So k is here. It is multiplied by which number? I will write it here. K. It is multiplied by 3. Therefore 3 into 8, that's equal to 24. So here you know this formula. Variance is equal to k square into the new variance is equal to k square into previous variance. So if you take root on both sides, the positive root of this variance, that is nothing but the standard deviation. Positive root of variance is standard deviation. New standard deviation is equal to root of k is k into, this is the original standard deviation. We may apply it to standard deviation also. Therefore, the new standard deviation is equal to k is equal to 3 and the previous standard deviation is 4. So that's equal to 12. This is how we can find the new standard deviation by using that general formula. So this is the question that I want to discuss last. So 9th question. The mean and variance of the 8 observations are 9 and 9.25 respectively. If 6 observations are 6, 7, 10, 12, 12 and 13, find the remaining observations. Totally 8 observations are there. Therefore, I will take the mean. X bar is equal to, what is X bar? We must add all the scores. 6 plus 7 plus 10 plus 12 plus 12 plus 13. We don't know the next two scores. I will call it as x1 and x2 respectively. I will take the unknown scores as x1 and x2. Totally 8 scores are there. Therefore, we must divide the whole equation by 8. X bar we know. X bar is given, that is equal to 9. 9 is equal to, if you add all these numbers, you will get 60, I think. So 60 plus x1 plus x2 divided by 8. If I multiply here, 9 into 8 is equal to 72 is equal to 60 plus x1 plus x2. Therefore, 72 minus 60, that's 12. x1 plus x2 value is equal to 12. So I will define x2 in terms of x1. x2 is equal to 12 minus x1. This I will call it first equation. Okay, I will take this as first equation. Then I will go for the variance. So variance is given, is it not? The mean and variance. So variance we must calculate by using the formula. So variance is equal to sigma xi square divided by n minus sigma xi divided by n whole square. So here sigma xi square means you must square all these numbers and you must add it. 6 square, 7 square, 10 square, 12 square, 12 square and 13 square. If you square and add, you will get 642. Check it. 642 plus x1 square is there plus x2 square divided by number of score is equal to 8 here. And here they have given 9.25 as the value of variance. I will take it here 9.25 minus, what is this? This is mean, is it not? Sigma xi divided by n means what? Total number of sum of the score divided by number of score, that's equal to mean. Mean is given 9. 9 square is equal to 81 here. 9 square is equal to 81. So now I will take the LCM first. 9.25 is equal to, take the LCM here. So 642 minus, I will take it here. So 648 plus x1 square plus x2 square. Okay. So if you multiply here, you will get 74. 74 is equal to minus, you will get here minus value. So minus 6, right? Minus 6 plus x1 square plus x2 square. Minus 6 x1 square plus x2 square you will get. If you add it to here, you will get 80. 80 is equal to x1 square plus x2 square. So instead of x2, I will take the value of x2. What is the value of x2? 12 minus x1 whole square. So make the quadratic equation here. 80 is equal to x1 square plus 144 plus x1 square minus 24 x1. Okay. So 144 is that. So I will write the quadratic equation here. So x1 square minus 24 x1. I will carry this 80 to that side. You will get that 64 plus 64 plus 64 is equal to 0. So x1 plus x1, 2x1 square is there. If you divide the whole equation by 2, what you will get? I will divide it by 2. So I will get here x1 square minus 12x1 plus 32 is equal to 0. Split the middle term here, you will get the answer. 32 is equal to 0. So x1 square minus 8x1 minus 4x1 plus 32 is equal to 0. So x1 into x1 minus 8 minus 4 into x1 minus 8 is equal to 0. Therefore, what are the factors? I will write it here. You must write one below the other. Don't write in this hodgepodge way. Okay. x1 minus 8, x1 minus 4 is equal to 0 by inspection. You may write the value of x1 as 8 or the value of x1 is equal to 4. So I will take x1 is equal to 8. If x1 is equal to 8, then x2 is equal to 12 minus 8. So that is equal to 4. So if I take x1 is equal to 4, I will get x2 is equal to 8. Therefore x1 is equal to 8 and x2 is equal to 4 is the answer for the question. So this ends the question and all the problems are over. This ends the chapter statistics. After the completion of each chapter in science subjects, you must prepare your own notes so that you can glance it before going to the exam. Let us make some list of important formulae related to statistics and write it in your notes. So they are very important. So that is equal to formula list. I will prepare here. Okay. So what is the first concept that you have learnt? So range, what is the formula for range? Range is equal to highest score minus lowest score. So after that, mean deviation. So here in mean deviation there are two. So mean deviation, about mean. So I will take about mean first. So mean deviation, about mean. So what are the formula? For ungrouped, it is equal to MD is equal to, for ungrouped data, mean deviation is equal to sigma x I minus x bar divided by n, and for the grouped data, discrete and continuous, it is equal to sigma f into fi into xi minus x bar divided by n. This is for grouped data and this is for ungrouped data. So the third one is mean deviation about the median. So mean deviation about median. So for this ungrouped, this is equal to mean deviation is equal to sigma xi minus m, where m is the median, divided by n, and for the group data mean deviation is equal to sigma fi into xi minus m divided by n. This is very helpful to you for preparing the columns also. If you know the formula, then you can prepare the columns very well. So in this you must remember how to find the median of group data also. I will add another formula. So that is equal to how to find the median of class interval L plus n divided by 2. So this is L plus n divided by 2 minus C divided by F into H, where H is the size of the class interval. So then the next concept, fourth one, is standard deviation. Is it not? So standard deviation. So direct method. So I will list out the formula of direct method first. So how to find standard deviation by using the direct method for ungrouped data. So standard deviation is D, or I will take this as sigma is equal to sigma xi minus x bar whole square divided by n for ungrouped. And then for group, this is nothing but sigma fi into xi minus x bar, this is a deviation, whole square divided by n. And then for the shortcut method, you must know alternate method or the shortcut method. So in shortcut method, we will find the actual mean by using the assumed mean. So actual mean is equal to assumed mean plus sigma fi divided by n into the height of the class interval or the common term. Okay. So the second formula is, so how to find the standard deviation. So here you must take the root, because we are finding the standard deviation, not variance. If the variance is there, then the root is not necessary. So I am writing the standard deviation. So it is equal to sigma xi square divided by n minus xi divided by n whole square for ungrouped data. And for the grouped data, so I will write here sigma is equal to the root of sigma fi into xi square divided by n minus sigma fi xi divided by n whole square. This must be multiplied by the size of the class interval, so that you may get the standard deviation. So let me list out the last important concept, that is CV is equal to standard deviation divided by mean into 100. And 2 points you must remember: greater CV. So greater is the value of CV, and more is the variation. Variation is more here. So variation is more. And the next concept is lesser CV. Lesser is the CV, which implies consistency is more. Variation is less. Variation is less means what? Consistency is more. So this is the method how you summarize the whole chapter, so that you may remember it for your exam. Before ending my session, I will give you a small hint about how to study for the exam. What are the methods, scientific methods to remember the concepts very easily. So I think all of you are preparing for the annual exam. Only one chapter is remaining in mathematics, and reading scientifically is also very important. I will explain it in 2 minutes. So if you want to learn anything, I will call this circle as learning. You must give attention about all these points. First, all of your knowledge is accommodated in your books. Therefore, you must read the books. Reading is the means to understand the subjects. But reading is not sufficient for all the subjects. Therefore, so reading is not sufficient for all the subjects. While reading, you must write something, important notes, and in mathematics, you must write the problems, otherwise you can't remember. Therefore, your study must include this writing also. Okay. After reading and writing the subjects, you will forget one thing, that is, you must recall it. That is the next step. Why you must recall it? Because in the exam, you will recall the concept and write it in the exam. If you are not able to recall the subjects, you can't write it in the exam. ಆಗ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಮರ್ತೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. ನೀವು ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಡಿಡೆಂಟ್ ರಿಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್. If you can recall any concept, then you may write it in the exam very easily, effectively. Therefore, after your reading and writing, you must try to recall it for 10 minutes. Each lesson you must recall it for 10 minutes. If you are able to recall, then the learning is over and you may go to the next chapter. If you are not able to recall it, then point out the concept which you can't recall it and repeat that concept only. Have to read, or you have to repeat the reading of that concept, not all the concept. As related to this chapter, if you can't remember how to find the mean deviation about the median, then you must go for this formula again and recall it again and point out it again, and then go for the next concept, repetitions. And another important thing is, revision ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, you will read one subject for a week and close that subject, and you will start the next subject, and you will not bother about that closer subject for a week or for a month. So that fades your memory. Please remember that. So after the completion of reading, at least for a week you must review that subject. Otherwise, ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಓದಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, after the completion of each subject for a week, in an interval of week, you must go for just review it, what you have read, so that you may remember it for a long time. Besides all these, you must relax also. Don't see the mobile and videos continuously. You must relax in the middle, and in the reading also. If you change of work is always rest. If you change the reading subject, then it becomes very effective. Otherwise, go for some physical activities or your hobbies, drawing, viewing good movies, all those things. If you follow these 6 steps, then you can learn any subject effectively, and this is called 6R steps. 6 R's to study any subject systematically and scientifically. So I wish all of you best of luck for your exam as well as the future, and I will end the session. Thank you all.